All right, peace, family. How everybody doing today? I'm back at it. You know what it is, and you know, I'm coming today, um, and I just want to speak about um, to cut a long story short. I want to talk about what's really going on right now. All right, as of 2021, we all know that we are living in what we're going to know is going to go down in history. And we living in some really strange and tough times. Um, and we understand. Well, first, let me say that I'm a speak in a way where you should know what I'm talking about without me having to say it. Just to give you a heads up. We know that what's going on today, far as this critical situation that we're facing today in 2021, this very critical situation that has changed everything, that has changed the world, this critical situation that has changed the world, right? What I want to let everybody know is that this critical situation that we're facing, this whole big fiasco, this very bad, it is bad, right? How bad, I really don't know. But it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It really is. I mean, I say that from a personal standpoint. All right? I say that from a personal standpoint. But there's something that I can't ignore. And what I can't ignore is the real and true and occult, because there's an occult driving force. And when I'm talking about an occult driving force, I'm not talking about anything spiritual at this particular point, or anything spooky, or anything mystical. I'm talking about something hidden. And the hidden driving force of what's going to change, or what's changing, I believe, is what's changing our present reality, our present paradigm, and our present matrix, is not this fiasco or this critical situation that's changing the world, what's being delivered in the media. Okay, the media is delivering this critical health concern that's changing the world. This is what the media is telling us. But what I truly believe is what's changing the world is the mind state of people. The mind state of people has drastically changed in the past couple of years. There has been a big health movement. There has been a big vegan movement. There has been a big entrepreneurial movement. All right? There has been a big conscious movement. They said that the year 2020 was the year of vision, where people would have clear vision. And let me tell you, that possibly was very true. On top of that, it was prophesied that we was going into the age of Aquarius sometime around 2012. We was sometime around that time we were supposed to be going into the age of Aquarius. Now, for those who don't know what the age of Aquarius is, this is that every 2,000 years or so, we go into a different age. All right? And a different, so you're going into a different paradigm. It's a paradigm shift. Every few thousand years, there's a paradigm shift. meaning that things change. You enter into a different paradigm on this planet, meaning that the energy is different on this planet, and it's a paradigm shift. Things are going to change. So it was prophesied that we go into the age of Aquarius. Now, I talked about this on my channel. I can't remember what book it was specifically that I read it in, but it was a Swaller de Lupez book, because I really like Swaller de Lupez works. I pretty much got all of his books. There's probably only a few of his books that I haven't read, and I think it was like the one on numbers or something like that. That's probably like the only book of his that I haven't read. So in one of these books, he talked about how when you go into a new age, something very drastic is going to happen. He basically talked about how this always happens when you enter into a new age. Is going to be something very drastic. Now, I read this years ago, and this always was in the back of my mind, because I knew and understood from various books that I've read that we was going into a new age, or we just went into the new age. Nobody knows the exact date. It's just kind of a time frame type of thing. And so you got to understand, when he wrote this stuff, it probably was back in the 70s when he wrote this, right? So I kind of understood that. So now 2012 hit, you know, we supposed to be in a new age. A mass awakening starts happening. All right? The awakening takes place, really, I can't say when the spark of the awakening really took place. I want to say probably back in the 20s. I want to say probably back in the 20s is when it took place. And I wanted to say it really started to peak right around the 80s. Either the 70s or the 80s. Now, this is very interesting, because if y'all go back and you watch the X-Men movie, where the bad guy was the Egyptian deity. And I always like to talk about in that movie, well, you know what? I think I never did a video on it. I did a video on it, but I never posted it. But the X-Men movie that came out where the bad guy was the Egyptian deity, they dropped some Jews in this movie because, for one, the bad guy was really the good guy. And two, they showed how it correlated to something that happened back in the 80s when some people conjured up this deity. They conjured him up back in the 80s and brought him back to life. Something happened back in the 80s. I forgot how it go. I ain't seen the movie in a while. You dig what I'm saying? So, excuse the sidebar. So moving forward, because I didn't intend for this video to be long, honestly. So moving forward, we enter the age of Aquarius. Swaller de Lupez talks about how something drastic always happens when you enter into a new age. We entered into the new age. It's 2020. This critical health crisis takes place. But before this critical health crisis takes place, you have a mass awakening in consciousness and knowledge and self-awareness beginning to run crazy, right? So now let's get into what I'm really trying to say, because I've been dancing, you know, I've been dancing around it the whole time. So really, what's really going on besides this health crisis, right? But the real major critical factor is the minds of the people are changing. People are starting to see through a lot of pitfalls and scams that was plaguing people for years. And a lot of young people are waking up and they want to be free. They want to be financially free. People don't want to work. People, it's true. People don't want to work. They want to retire early. People want to be entrepreneurs. Everybody want to sell something. Everybody want to be on the internet. Everybody wants to live this this new way. Everybody has something to sell. Everybody has the sale pitch. Everybody has the class for sale. Everybody has the know-how. And I truly believe that this is really taking a toll on the fabric of the very matrix that was running on the machine. Because the machine is not built to last this way if people are thinking this way. So I truly believe that this is taking a toll on the very fabric of the matrix and the paradigm that we have been witnessing and experiencing. And it creates a domino effect. It creates a domino effect. So what's going to happen is, what the machine is going to have to do, the machine is going to have to look back, and it's going to have to make adjustments and figure out how can it still control the people the same way. It's going to have to figure out how it's going to have to still control the people and entrap people with this new mind state that people are gravitating towards and the things that they want to do. Because, believe it or not, this paradigm and this matrix that we're living in, there's a degree of servitude, all right? There's a degree of servitude that's attached to it. And does this servitude needs to be morally checked? Most definitely it does. Because we're not living in this world is not fair. It's not equal. It's not fair. Somebody gets the shit end of the stick. Excuse my French. And that's the way that this paradigm. That's the way that this paradigm is built. See, nobody talks about this stuff. Everybody talks about get your money, hustle, 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 hustle. But nobody never talks about, I'm like the only person I ever heard say this stuff. Nobody wants to say it because everybody is sharks in this thing. And everybody's taking a bite out of each other behinds. And that's what's really going on. And I truly believe that we're not going to be able to strive this way. We really going to have to figure out a way to work with each other and build something for ourselves righteously. Because the way this thing really runs, that nobody wants to talk about, is how somebody has to get the shit end of the stick. Somebody has to get duped. Somebody has to get scammed. Somebody has to get scammed. If you buy something and you selling it for a higher price, the person that you selling it to a higher price to is getting scammed. The person that you selling it to a higher price to is getting scammed, because what you selling it to him for is what you did not pay for it for. All right? So, you know, it's just, and then you got to look at interest. You know, everything, you know, when you go into and you start to study business, or what's talked about, because I don't have no degree in economics or nothing like that. But when you listen to people, you know, like podcasts and things like that, when you listen to these people that's talking about growing economics and growing business, you're going to have to deal with debt and interest. Meaning that for you to make money, you got to make somebody else money. So somebody is always taking a hit. For you to make money, you got to make this person money. And for you to make money, you got to make some money off of this person. And this person got to make some money off of this person. This person got to make some money off of this person. This person got to make some money off of this person. And it's just like a never-ending cycle. And I think I don't know. I just really don't know. I don't know why people don't think this way. I don't know if people think about this and just don't care, or this is just some people don't want to say. They just want to get their money, get their bread. You know, people don't care about other people. You know, and I know that's something that was born with me. I know that's something that came with me to this planet. It's how to care about other people. You know, where does morality stand in the pursuit of wealth and riches? Where does morality stand, right? Just like if somebody gets involved into real estate and they are trying to gain wealth for themselves and for their family and, you know, future generations and things of that nature, which makes a lot of sense, right? This is what everybody wants, is wealth. Does this person actually consider people, or does most people who are in this field, do they consider people? Like, do they consider people, or are their main concern just get into the bag? Like, when you get a house and you flipping a house, is your main concern trying to make the most money as possible off of this property? Or are you concerned that, are you ripping this next person off who's buying this property that you know you're taking advantage of because they don't have the same knowledge as you have about this property, and that's why you are able to make so much money off of this property off the next person? So I don't know. You know, I don't know. I just know we are really living in some really strange times right now. And, you know, it's like a get rich or die society. You know, it's just like everybody's going to be racing to the bag. And I think human compassion is going to fall to the wayside. And, you know, everybody wants to be free. Everybody wants to get to the bag. And on top of that, a lot of people are becoming conscious. People are becoming self-aware. People are getting more interested into the occult, which deals really with spirituality. So, you know, things is getting real interesting. It's just my take on it, just how I feel. So if you like what you hear, please thumb up the video. Please share the video. You know, support any way that you can to the channel. And I'm trying to get back into the flow of things. You know, one of my goals was to have a channel and to teach. If you go back further back into my older videos, you know, you see that that was something that I really enjoyed doing, you know, was presenting information and bringing things to the forefront. And eventually I'm going to get back to that. You know, I don't know when. The beginning of this year for me has been crazy. But, you know, at some point, I'm going to get back to the information. But, you know, this was what was on my mind today, and I wanted to share it. So, thumbs up the video, support the channel, share the video. You dig? Peace.